Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and today I've got to. First of all, I'm going to apologise to these guys before I bring them on because I've mashed up my ankle. My whole schedule's just gone completely out the window. I'm catching up on emails, catching up on editing. There's not a lot I can do. So I thought this was this evening because I've been looking at my schedule because I've been catching up on everything else. So they were like, I got a message off Emily and she was like, "Oh, we're doing this now?" And I was like, "I thought it was later on this evening." And she was like, "No, it's 1:00." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But now it's 2:30 and we're doing this. So many apologies, guys. But I'm joined by the guys from TMS Telford. Hello, how are you?
Hi everyone. Hello. I'm Emily from Telford Maker Space.
And I'm Paul from Telford Maker Space.
Brilliant. It's lovely to speak to you guys. We met at the Wellington Orbit, which are doing a great job in supporting local content creators and people that do similar things. And I got to do a great talk. I say it was great. I just rambled for half an hour. And this is where I met you guys. But Paul, we've kind of indirectly met before via the Vegan Hub, right? Correct?
No, that's
You'd be
Andy.
thinking of Andy.
You'd be thinking of Andy.
Oh, Andy.
Andy's actually just had to drop off and take a phone call in a minute. But no, me and you, we've never met.
Okay. Well, we'll be a meeting now. Sorry about that.
That's one thing to out, isn't it?
Do you know what? I love these things though, because we are literally like, I know we met very briefly, but this is one of those awkward things where like you share a business card and like, oh, we'll get in touch sometime. This is us like properly meeting each other and getting to find out about each other. So Emily, do you want to tell us what the MakerSpace, what it is and where it came from?
Yeah. So the MakerSpace is a community collective. It is a charity run by members of the Telford community that provides a resource to the public in both a physical capacity, so the likes of tools and equipment, as well as the community to enable people to make anything they want.
Nice. It's great. There are so many kids that probably sat there with an old screwdriver that just love to take stuff apart. I nearly swore then. Love to take stuff apart. My brother used to do that when we were kids. He took our Mega Drive controller apart, and I was like, "Well, you can't put it back together now, can you?" So we literally you just love taking stuff apart. So it's great that you've got this collaborative group that can put things together and encourage that.
Yeah, exactly. I've got many stories of taking things apart. I think one of them being my mum's old Dyson, for example.
Oh, no.
Went ballistic at that. But we're definitely all around bringing people together to make things they didn't think were possible.
Amazing. And when did this begin?
Oh, God, it was before my time. I think it was, 2017. 2017 was when it sort of, when we first started acting out of whatever library or community hub we could find.
Brilliant. And the response straight away, what was that like? Was it something that you know hit the ground running, or did it take a while to get people on board?
I'd say it took a little while. We experienced pretty slow growth to start with.
But so Emily, we'll speak about you guys individually. So when did you come onto it and why and how?
So I joined the space. What was it? 3 years ago at this point, and I saw it as a way of getting a new circle of friends. You know, I used to make it, and I still do a fair bit at home, but this was a way to really find a group of like-minded individuals and start to sort of broaden my horizons. I joined the space. There was a handful of members at that time, and I really started to get invested. And when we decided to become a charity, I stepped up and said, "Yeah, I'll take a leadership role in this."
Amazing. And so when you bring people together that are like-minded, what are the kind of sort of activities that you you put together so that do you collaborate on engineering opportunities? Do you put projects together? What do you guys do, or do you just sit and chat about the things that you'd like to do?
So we normally have open evenings or an open day on a weekend where members of our community and members of the public will all gather, and we'll typically work on our own projects and potentially collaborate with others, especially if there's some technical issue someone's having, or a particular project that's got a bit of a headache. We'll typically dive in and help them out.
Fantastic. And Paul, where do you step into this?
I came into this to the Telford Maker Space through an article in the Shropshire Star right at the beginning of the pandemic. One of our colleagues, who was also one of the trustees, Adam, he was making PPE headbands and face visors and stuff. Wow. I got in touch with him, and one thing led to another. I then became a trustee on the board. We just went crazy with the old headbands for the NHS and everything, and it really took off. And for me, it's absolutely ideal because it's another, like Emily said, it's another group of friends that, like-minded people who like to tinker with things, take things apart and hopefully put them back together again, and build and extend.
I remember actually from the Wellington Orbit that Emily had a camera. It was a camera holster that you made. You made your own camera arm. Was it a camera?
Yes, it was. It was a shoulder mount rig. Yeah.
And I love that. I was absolutely mesmerized by it. You were like, well, I can't afford to go and buy some fancy gizmo, and I haven't got one that I like, so I just made my own. And I was just like, this is amazing. Because we all think from that time to time, I should just make my own stuff, and you went ahead and did it. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. It's one of those things that when you start getting into making and figuring out that you actually can make a lot of things yourself, you go, that's an interesting challenge, or even, I could do that with materials got around the house. For the likes of me who owns their own 3D printer, it was relatively easy to get a couple bits of pipe and make a little rig like that.
How easy is it to operate a 3D? Do you need to understand lots and lots of mathematics and be very good at coding and stuff to work in a 3D printer?
So 3D printing isn't quite as simple as your normal printing something off on piece of paper, but I wouldn't say you need a huge background in maths or know how to code or anything. You can, as an amateur, literally just download something off the internet from a variety of sources, put it into the software that comes with the printer, press print, and it more or less should be ready to print.
Should work, yeah.
It's when things go wrong that you need some guidance, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I saw this one of those videos you sit watching at 2 a.m. in the morning. It was a cosplay outfit some guy had made. It was a team of them, and it was just all these panels of armor plating, and they'd nip over, they'd 3D print something, they bring it over, they glue it on, they paint it, and I was just like, it's that easy. It's that easy. Well, I guess if you know how, I guess it is.
Yeah.
It's all about experience, isn't it? I mean,
exactly.
You can. If you want to get started with 3D printers, there are some very basic printers at a very reasonable cost out there, and they can, some of them you can expand as your experience and knowledge grows, or you could go like a lot of people seem to do, is buy the most expensive printer, plug it in, and expect it to work miracles, and it won't. It's all. What you expect to get from something like that. You've got to manage your own expectations, kind of thing.
There's a learning curve, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've found with people is they tend to, as Paul says, dive in at the deep end, and then they need a bit of help to get off the ground. There's a couple of principles that you have to learn. A little bit of maintenance on the printer. They're quite hands-on. It's unlike a HP laserjet or inkjet printer or whatever. You can't literally just make it do something right away. So you need to do a bit of tuning, and you need to learn how they work. And it's all a bit alien to start with, and that's where people tend to flounder, really.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us, Andy, as well. I recognise the change in voice. I was like, well, that must be Andy.
Yeah. So the phone call that I was going to have didn't come in, so I put it on silent. So you can edit that bit out if you want.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm apologies that this is happening later than it was supposed to be. I'm more fuzzy headed from cocodamol. I don't really take painkillers, but I've actually I didn't cause an argument, but I fell out with Porky Pig. And this sounds like a random thing to say, but Bob Bergen was meant to come on my show at the weekend, who does the voice of Porky Pig. And because I had my accident and I've been hobbling around on crutches, I haven't been able to, there's days where I couldn't get to work and do stuff. So I wasn't paying attention to my emails and my schedule. And I got this email off Bob Bergen going, are we doing this thing or what? And it was sent 2 days ago.
Oh dear.
So I sent Bob a message saying, I'm very sorry. I've pulled 2 ligaments in my ankle. I've been away from work. And he sent me this really sweet message back. So me and the pig are fine. We're all right. But it's really affected everything I do. I was told that you're Andy. You're the person qualified to tell me about where MakerSpace actually originated from. So, would you like to tell us about that? Where did this originally come from? What made you, or what made this happen?
Right. Well, I heard about MakerSpaces quite a number of years ago, and I thought, oh, that'd be a really great thing. I must see whether or not there's one in the local area. So this is going back to 2015 or whatever, and there wasn't. The nearest ones that I could find were Fizz Pop, which is in Digbeth in Birmingham, and going the opposite direction near Keele in Staffordshire. And so basically an hour either way, so it's not really a lot of use for me. And I kept checking back every now and then to see whether or not someone had started a MakerSpace in the Telford area or somewhere in Shropshire. Would have been nice. No one ever did. And eventually, I was talking to my wife about it, and she said, well, why don't you start it? Why not then? And yeah, here we are. So I thought about it for a while and then started to investigate it a bit and decided, well, okay, what I'll do is start putting out some notifications and try and drum up some interest and get some people together to start it off. And it grew from there. So that was probably, this is one of those New Year's things where we were sort of, what do you want to do with this year? And so that it kind of stemmed out of that, really.
I love it.
I decided that, okay, no one else was going to do it, so I was going to try and do it.
And so the idea is that you have a space that you guys use, and maybe you invite people, learn how to make a lamp or learn how to do this, and you kind of teach young people how to make things, or you engineers get together and you have meetups. Like, what's the idea behind it?
To empower people, really. So
yeah, I like that.
Generally speaking, people don't kind of think they can create things, but when it comes down to it, although there can be technical knowledge involved in things, like what I said about the 3D printers earlier, it's not insurmountable. It's not stuff that you can't learn. And in general, although there might be rocket science behind it, you don't need to know the rocket science. And so you can make things that you never thought you could make. And with some of the technology we've got available now, like laser cutters and 3D printers, you can do some really amazing things. And they can be practical, or they can be whimsical. They can be just pure interest, or they
artistic.
Can be, artistic. Yeah. All the full range. But that's my angle on it: is empowerment to make it possible for people to make things. And a lot of the time, these bits of equipment might be quite expensive to get, and not everyone can afford that kind of stuff. And I just think that everyone deserves the chance to be able to do that sort of thing.
I'd love to be able to be like, I need a mic clip. Where's a mic clip? Can't find one. Just print one off.
Yeah. So where we can help, we're talking about whether or not you need to know a lot of maths or whatever, or programming to run a 3D printer. So there are sites where you can download things. So there might be such a thing that someone else designed that you can either adapt or use directly, or we can probably help you come up with it. You can maybe do some sketches, and maybe Emily will help you with some 3D design. So there are programs that you can use that help you to turn an idea into a model, which is
then turn it into reality.
Yeah, so it starts off, it's on the computer screen, but in the end, it's coming out on your 3D printer. And then you've got the thing in your hand when the 3D printer's finished its work, and there you go, you've created something. And that's where we come in, really. So my aim is to enable people to do that kind of thing. So you've had that idea. Now, everyone has these ideas of, I wish I could have a thing that did whatever. And that's what MakerSpaces are for, to enable that to happen.
Yeah, I remember when I first started this thing, I was like, I need a desktop because I had a blue Snowball microphone, right, which comes with this tiny little tripod. You can buy very expensive microphone mounts for them. And I was like, I'm not spending £100 on a blooming thing. So I got this old desk lamp, the Pixar type lamp, and I unscrewed the head. And then the thread was exact same size as the Snowball. So I just screwed that on. I was like, yeah, engineering, did it.
You are a maker. Welcome to the fold.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
So since the creation of MakerSpace, so how many sort of members have you brought on now? Emily was just telling me about how, since Emily's joined, that lots of people, it seems to have grown. Is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, in the early days, there was a group of about 5 people, really. There was me, Glyn, who's a current member. We had another guy who was helping us out as the treasurer. And we slowly accumulated additional people who found out about the place and came along and asked what we were about, wanted to know, or they had a hobby and they wanted to know whether or not we were interested in it too. And over the years, by the time Emily had joined, we probably had about 10 people who were coming in occasionally, not all particularly regularly, not every single week.
Every now and again, yeah.
Yeah, and then lockdown hit. And for a lot of people, that is a terrible story. For us, it was rather different because we ended up making visors for PPE using 3D printers. One of our trustees, Adam, before he was involved in the MakerSpace, he called me up desperate for some help and basically said, hey, can you help me? I'm making these visors for PPE for the health staff, and I can't keep up with the demand. Have you got any 3D printers? So I said, well, yeah, we're a MakerSpace. We have a few people who've got 3D printers. I'm sure we can help you out.
We may be able to help you.
and that actually brought quite a lot of people to us because they heard about it. They heard about the effort to make the PPE, and they said, well, I've got a 3D printer. I'll join in as well. And it grew from there. So the lockdown, shockingly, was in the early days pretty good for us. We ended up doing things in our own homes and communicating over Discord. There wasn't much face-to-face going on, obviously, because that wasn't allowed most of the time. So the most face-to-face really was when Adam would come around to collect the product that we produced on our 3D printers. We had several, probably about 8 3D printers running. I think we made nearly 4,000 visor headbands, which was what we were 3D printing mainly, but plus a load of other bits and pieces like door openers. Actually, I know you made quite a lot of the other door things, didn't you? And that boosted us quite a lot. We also used the lockdown time to make good on our promise to ourselves to finish off our charity application, which is an interesting process. But yes, we came out of it as a charity and with a bigger membership, which is not a bad story for lockdown, I think. It's
funny how it affected so many people. I mean, I always talk about this on the Biscuit. It's like we just bought a mobile studio. We were about to hit all the festivals and stuff, which is what we're doing now. I feel like in some regards, the pandemic set us back a year with the development of the Biscuit, but also it moved us into a virtual realm where we could find out what's going on around the town without actually leaving our homes, which was pretty cool. So yeah, it affected so many people in different ways, and there was lots of people locked at home, sat in the rooms, bouncing off the walls. Maybe you helped inspire people rather than sitting around, moping around, trying to complete Netflix. They can get hands on and try and fix things, and make things.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, that's when I came to the MakerSpace, like when pandemic, and I'd never done anything 3D printing wise before in my life. In previous roles and that in my education and all that, I'm a qualified engineer. Didn't help me in any way, shape, or form with 3D printing because it was totally new to me. And these guys with Adam's help and that helped me, do a lot more technical things with printers that I thought I could never do. And it's all about empowering people and getting people to bring their dreams and things to life and fruition, kind of thing, into it.
It's breaking down a few walls as well, isn't it? Because when it comes to, I can say, I certainly with Stan Lee t-shirt on. I'm a massive geek. I love my Batman. But when it comes to being the person who you're supposed to be, sometimes there's people that'll be like, well, you can't do that, that's properly nerdy, you can't do it. But sometimes you just got to embrace that. You got to be like, no, I'm really good at making these things, I'm gonna go and do this thing, and there's this space where I can go and do it now, so this is where I'm gonna go. See you later, bye. And I applaud you for giving people the license to be able to go and do that, because it's very important that they have some whether it's young people, whether it's yourself, Paul, where you could just go and find somewhere to put your skills to test, or pass on the torch, I guess, to another generation of engineers, creators, and stuff. I think it's really, really good. So well done, Andy. Where is this journey taking you? What's next for you guys?
Well, what's next for us is finding a new venue. The place that we are operating out of currently has a huge roof leak. And the landlord is not managing to deal with it, and have basically told us that the schedule for being able to deal with it is in the months rather than weeks. And this has been going on since I think it was early December when we had those storms back in the early winter, and it took some tiles off the roof, I think. And so we can't currently use our space. Now, we continue with Discord and organising things, doing some virtual bits and pieces, but it's hampering us really, really badly. So we've been casting around for new spaces for quite some time, but it's reached a bit of a fever pitch at the moment.
Yeah. Even before the roof caved in, we were at our capacity. Before COVID, we had sort of 10 or 12 people a night in quite a small room, basically a small dance studio. But with COVID, with everything else, you could maybe fit 5 people safely in there. Yeah,
social distancing and with COVID screens up and all that kind of stuff. It really cramped us.
We'd definitely outgrown our space. There's been a huge need for us to move to somewhere bigger, somewhere better for a long time.
Yeah, somewhere where you can leave things set up all the time.
Yeah.
When at the moment we got to open up, clean up, set up,
pack away,
shut up. Kind of
a lot of our equipment is on wheelie trolleys. So we've got little benches that we actually made that are on casters that we can.
So an old garage or something would be great for you guys, wouldn't it?
Like an old car garage,
maybe a bit bigger than that, I think.
More like an MOT place.
Yeah, or an industrial unit.
Light industrial is what we wanted, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
There's a place in Horse Hay, isn't there, where there's like a gym and there's a play barn down there. They've got these great units, that kind of thing, where you can just open up the doors and go in and have plenty of space to.
We've got a huge list of criteria for some sort of ideal space. It would help to have good internet access, for example.
Yeah.
But the main
location as well.
Exactly. The main ones for us is being big enough to actually fit our membership, fit our equipment, and to be relatively local to Telford or Wellington, or to actually get members of the public in.
Yeah, I don't want for the space to require people to drive there. Where possible, I think it needs to be at least walkable from the local train station and bus station.
Okay, that makes sense.
So going out in the sticks would be probably quite easy, but really,
it's not what we want, though.
Yeah,
is it?
I think we do need to be at least central to either Wellington or one of the other Telford main towns.
And if a committee was to be like, sit around and be like, okay, these guys, I was going to do a really old, okay, these guys, they want to space. I don't know how committees sound. But,
That's your Arnie impression, is it?
Yo.
The Arnie impression. I've got that one over there. I've got to be careful, don't swear though. But no, so if they're going to look at your thing, how would you say that TMS sort of helps, will benefit the community?
Well, what we do, in essence, anyway, benefits the community, but it's not limited to that. We already do things. So, for instance, we occasionally build things for local groups. We run charity events occasionally. So, at Christmas time, we did a thing we called Iron Santa. One of our members makes Iron Man suits. He 3D prints them and then sands and paints them, and they look the real deal. They're really good. Very, very good. They take an immense amount of time and effort to produce. But his idea, he wanted to do an Iron Man suit, and we thought, well, why don't we make it Santa? So there was a bit of back and forth. We came up with ideas, and eventually he went and made an Iron Man suit, and we paired it up with a Santa suit. We did some fundraising and got some toys together for kids that were in hospital over Christmas in the PRH hospital in Telford, and he did an Iron Santa's grotto. So Emily and Paul, it
was me and Adam went.
Yeah, they originally wanted more, but of course COVID restrictions resulted in fewer people being able to go. But yeah, so we gave out toys to the kids in the hospital, and it was Iron Santa who gave the toys out. So we do things like that, and we're planning to do more things like that because we Can you make me a bat suit, please? I just really want my own realistic bat suit. Thank you.
Bat suit or butt suit?
Right.
You would have to chat with that.
Well, we don't do orders, but we enable. So yes, you can have your bat suit, and we'll help you to make it. So there's a bit of give and take. We're quite happy to help you along that journey, help you to learn things and help you to make things. But what we don't really do, we're not a shop that sells stuff. Though we could do that if that was going to raise funds for us. But our main aim is to help people to make what they want to make themselves.
Empower, which I think is a great word to use. So if you want it, make it. And what kind of if say somebody was listening to this right now and wanted to come and join along and be part of what you guys do, whether it be by Discord or turning up to, if you get yourself a venue and having a make along with you guys, what kind of level are we talking at? Can people just bruise in if they have no experience?
Anybody. The whole point of this really is that, so you see things like all these YouTube videos, how to make this, how to make that, and the people that are doing them have obviously got a lot of experience behind it, etc. And you're sitting there and you think, I'd love to have a go at that. I don't know how to do it. I'd love to have it. That's the kind of people that we're here for, is so they can come, they can talk to us, and we can say, well, okay, well, the person to speak to is this person here in our group. He can advise, help, tell you what you're going to need, any kind of costs, what kind of tools, etc. And we can go from there with it, really. And there's no limit, really, to things we can't help and build with.
Yeah,
and also the level of skills to start with doesn't have. You don't have to be experienced or skilled, because we are there to help people to gain those skills.
Yeah.
So you can come in as a complete newbie with no technical skills, but a desire to learn how to do, maybe it's 3D printing, maybe it's woodwork. We do more traditional stuff as well as the high-tech
needle
stuff.
craft, absolutely anything. Really.
And we pool our resources and knowledge, and we help people out in that way. So we don't have like an entrance exam or anything like that. You just have to show some willingness to learn and give it a go. We've done courses on robotics with Raspberry Pis, where we're teaching kids how to do that kind of stuff. We've also had sessions where we've made things out of recycled pallet wood, and we're planning a cigar box guitar session at some point in the future once we have a space we can use, and some other bits and pieces like that. So a lot of the time it's recycled materials and simple
and that
kind of stuff. But yeah, it's literally, you just need to have a desire to give it a go.
I think with this, it seems like something that you're not just going to take, you're going to give too. So like, if you're going to be part of this, be a part of it. Just to turn up, make your cigar box guitar and skedaddle. Like, let's see what else you're capable of. Is this something that that parents can do that's extracurricular for their kids away from school?
We certainly have kids. We certainly have kids turn up. Normally, if they're sort of under 16, 18 years old, we sort of ask for parent supervision, especially if they're going to be using power tools.
Yeah.
But, the kids are more than welcome to join in. Adults as well, old fogies, everyone.
Yeah. We don't really have kind of
we don't discriminate.
An age. No, we don't discriminate on age at all.
No.
So we've had some members who are pensioners. We've had young kids in primary school, secondary school. The majority of people are probably in their 30s or 40s. But no, there's no rules on that.
Good.
Any and all are welcome.
It's one of those things, I think, sometimes where, I'm lucky enough, I know how to change a plug on an electrical thing. But it's like one of those things that people might look at and go, I've never learned how to change a plug. There's some people probably never changed a light bulb in their life, So you guys are motivating people to go out and find the answers for themselves. And I think it's really important because we've all sat up until 3:00 in the morning watching a guy forge a ring out of a penny with all the amazing expensive equipment he's got lying around his house. But like, to be able to do something like that and make it reality, motivate yourself to go out there and make amazing things yourself, especially out of pallet wood. You talk about recycled pallets. That's very popular. There's so many people make furniture, and I saw some guy bird boxes and stuff that he'd made out of pallet wood. Very, very cool stuff to learn, especially during something like a pandemic or something. Say, you're at home, you don't have a lot to do, you're getting depressed because you're alone, which, a lot of people can relate to lately. Then there's skills out there you can learn. It's great.
Absolutely. And one of our functions is to kind of help with that isolation. So that's how the Discord server came into being. It was Emily's idea. Emily is a bit of a gamer and was using Discord before, and we were hit by the lockdown initially, and like, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to organise things? And so
how are we going to stay together as a group?
Oh, why don't we use Discord? We can do voice calls on that and just text chat. And that's how we kind of got through the early part of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also about keeping people in the loop and making people sort of feel valued, and giving people a virtual way to keep in contact and to kind of just be a person, to be able to interact. And obviously the face-to-face stuff is starting to come back now, but we've done so much more online recently because of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does help with mental health. People have said to us, that I'm not sure I would have survived without that. Yeah,
Discord is a great place. I do it. I use it during the radio, and people can chat to me during the show. But it is a great place. It's so much better than Facebook or Twitter or something, because it's just that instant. It's just chat.
Yeah,
it's a chat room that is moderated by the person that runs that server or that.
Adverts.
No adverts, yeah. And we nearly ended up doing this over Discord, recording this over Discord, because we can get StreamYard to work. But I want the visuals, I want people to see us on YouTube. But yeah, Discord, if you're listening to this and thinking, what is Discord? Well, go and check it out. Seriously, it's a mixture between, I would say, sort of Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. It's kind of like you can have individual chat rooms or servers that you can join and just talk about with like-minded people. It's very good. So what can people do to help TMS? I mean, obviously you need a new venue. You could do with people coming and joining you guys on Discord and getting stuck in with the conversation. But if I was to ask you, how can people help you? What would you say?
So we are open for donations. We will take monetary donations through our PayPal. We do want people to come and join us, come and see what we're all about. You don't need to be any sort of paid member to join the Discord and to engage with us. There's also the social media element. Especially if we can make some noise about our need for a new property, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Finding us a property will be the key thing.
First part, yeah.
But funding is the big thing really for us.
Yeah.
And becoming a member and paying £10 a month would really, really help, because that gives us a secured income then, and it means that we can more reliably calculate how much we can afford if we find a place to rent.
I am with you on that one. I feel like we know each other obviously from my time at the Parade. I did the studio at the Parade in Shrewsbury, and I used to be there every week, and that obviously came to an end because we were making use of the empty units, but we don't have a studio anymore in town. And I feel like it would be great if the Shrewsbury Biscuit had a home, a place where we could go and, like you said, with your equipment, leave your equipment out, breeze in, just crack on with some audio. I think that'd be really, really good. And with you guys, if you could get a home, I want to try and help you if we can, because place, it'd be just a place where you can be yourselves, be you, know.
Something else might interest you as well. Something that we've had planned as like we have this idea of a dream site where we could get everything in that we want to be able to do. But one of the key elements is an AV studio. We want to have a room where we can do podcasts and YouTube and multimedia stuff.
Yeah, have a video set, have a recording studio.
Yeah, probably a green screen and bits and pieces like that. So. And also some equipment as well to be able to actually say, hey, if you want to come in and record something, even if it's not actually a podcast, you might want to make some media for a project you're doing. Maybe you want to do something for, I don't know, birthday presentation for your sister's 50th, like I've done. Stuff like that, where you just need to have the AV equipment available, and you probably don't want to go out and pay £400 or £500 for all the kit that you would probably need for all of it, but you just because you don't want to use it for like an hour or two, and learn how to do it, and with some people around who actually know a bit about how it works,
like-minded people to help and assist, and if you remember, you're going to get access to this kind of thing, but we would still take donations for the use of the equipment, and the time and electricity and etc.
I was speaking to Maggie Love from Shropshire Youth Theatre. I was talking about how the skills that you guys are teaching people, the skills that maybe some like the theatre and maybe podcasting and media, they're all transferable. These are all transferable things. You may not have had the confidence to go and use this big industrial stand-up drill until they've met you guys. You never know how to program a 3D printer until they met you guys. Stand up in front of an audience and talk until you learn how to do media, or even hold a conversation with no notes but nothing but names, and be able to make something that people will actually enjoy, communicate, bring people together around the world, unless you try to do a podcast. All of these things are very, very, very important. So, this is really important stuff for the community to get involved with. So, like, if you're listening to this now and you're thinking, why should I help TMS? And this is why, because you're going to give kids, you're saying you're an elderly gentleman, you've had people of all ages come in and learn these new skills. You're never too young. Well, you are obviously too young to use it.
They're actually would be a limit there. Yeah, if you can't stand up on your own, we're going to be struggling.
But it's never too late to learn these things. That's for sure. If you know somewhere that's got an empty space, how can people get in touch with TMS? How can they find you?
So we've got a variety of ways of contacting us. If you want to contact us personally, the Discord is a good option. We also have our public email, hello@telfordmakerspace.org.
.uk.
Yeah. We just changed that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Telford. Hello at telfordmakerspace.org.uk.
I think what you guys are doing great. You're great to chat to, and do you know what? We've broken the ice a bit now. We should definitely do this again. We can maybe meet up in person, and I can bring some cameras, and we can make something together.
Yeah,
that'd be great, wouldn't it?
We should definitely bring Adam along and Iron Santa. I'm sure he'd love that.
Yes, I did share pictures. I don't know if you guys can see the screen, but I shared the picture of Iron Santa there with a Nerf gun in the toy shop there. Look,
that's right.
That's from the last. That was last year's Toys for Kids thing we did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the gift there. Fantastic. Have you guys got any local events that you guys are you going to get out and about in the summer so people can see you?
We're hoping to, yes. Obviously, with the problem with the venue at the moment, it is hampering us. But what we're hoping to do is have some events run in some local community centres. Still in the sort of early planning stages on that, but we want to run some little sessions so people can come and kind of get to know us a bit, learn a little bit about one focused topic, just so that we can kind of keep the engagement going.
Mm-hmm. That's lovely. And if people wanted to, sorry, I keep hampering with these questions. I don't usually do question. We usually have a conversation, but I want people to know all the information they need to know. To if people wanted to see a visual representation of sort of maybe social media video or something like, see what you guys do. Is there a perfect example where people can see your things, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what have you?
So we often post a lot on Twitter at Telford Makers. Previous examples of projects that we've done and activities that are coming up. We often post about when we've got community meetings, community discussions, where we bring everyone together to discuss how the Makerspace is run, any cool projects coming up, yada, yada, yada. We have a dedicated show-off zone in the Discord. So if people have made something cool and they want to share it in a bit of a public forum, they often share a picture or a small video there. What else do we have?
We've got the website.
Got the website?
Yeah.
That's also a good key one.
As well, with the Discord, where can people get the invite for the Discord?
So
that's on our website. Yeah.
It is on our website. It's on the main page.
It's in our contact us section
and
on the
contact
website.
Us section.
The website is telfordmaker.space currently, and we're putting a new one live quite soon, which will be telfordmakerspace.org.uk.
I've talked about it throughout the podcast, and I genuinely mean it. If you are helping people to go out there and use their own hands, use their minds, if you're going to give someone the engineering bug, you know, they may come to you when they're 17, 18 and think, no, this is what I want to do, and they might go on and forge a career out of what you guys zoom up on there, forge a career out of what they're going to. Then I'm all game for it. I really do wish you the best with getting a new venue, and I hope to see you out and about. If you ever do want us to bring a camera, or you want us to come and get involved with what you guys are doing, we're always happy to help you. I fell in love with you guys.
We'll hold you to
that. What I need to do though, guys, is before we get out of here, is there anything you wanted to say actually before we get out of here? Is there anything you've missed that I haven't given you the opportunity for you to say?
Yep. One last thing from me is we do have our own podcast. It's the Telford Maker Space. Let me try again. We do have our own podcast. It's the Telford Maker Space podcast. It's easily available on Spotify and a few others. And currently we have 2 good episodes. We're doing a third this Sunday.
Brilliant. I love that. Fantastic. We'll have to do a collab sometime. I know we're doing this now, but I mean, like, we'll do some podcasting stuff together.
Have you on ours? Hey.
Yes. What did you make? I mutilated a lamp once and attached to a bright orange microphone to it.
Why not?
Yeah. We often have a lot of. We're planning on having a lot of subject matter experts in for our podcast. You know, we've got one girl from Warwick Uni who's an expert in large format 3D printing.
Wow.
We've got people from all over the world for design and different aspects of making. Typically, we do sort of one guest a month is the plan.
Mm.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'll let you get the experts on before you, when it runs dry, then you can get me on. What do you do? I talk in front of a microphone. That's what I do. Right, guys, if you want to find out everything you need to know about the Shrewsbury Biscuit, you can always check out our website too, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. All of our content is available on there. You can press play off the website and it'll play directly off the website, or you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts from. We're also on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, because it just helps. It really does help if you subscribe, even if you're not going to watch us again. So please do that. Did I say it? Our website is made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, they'll make the perfect website for you, no matter where you are in the world. If you've got an Etsy account, if you've got a business, a podcast, a band, whatever it is, Web Orchard will make the perfect website for you. Right, we're going to get out of here. But, guys, thank you so much for chatting to me. I know it took a while. I'm sorry for the mix-up in times, but I'm glad we've done this now. We've broken the ice, haven't we? Well, truly.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Alex.
It's been our pleasure.
Right, we'll catch you guys next time. Where's that outro? Here it is. Bye. Peace out, guys.